If we can come back to the burns now, for example, that's an interesting subject.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because burns represent an anomaly. In terms of so-called diseases, well, unless I'm a complete charlatan, I cannot guarantee a 100% rate of success. When people really want to die, they die, and there is nothing else. Just because of my ethics, I cannot force them to live. The only anomaly are burns. I guarantee a 100% rate of success, period. If I fail once on burns, I'm out of the job. I take my word for it. I cannot take care of more like 10, 15 persons a day. Anything more, I would be a quack again. Burns, I could take care of 100,000 a day without bragging. 100,000 people burn simultaneously. Why? It's because it doesn't take me anything. It doesn't cost me an ounce of energy. Nothing. It's just like bypassing you completely and shifting reality once and for all. You know that there are people who died of cold in a locking room, frigorific system, who believed the system was on, but wasn't, and they die at 72 Fahrenheit. Of cold, with frozen bites and everything. That's the power of the mind. Under hypnosis, you can also suggest to someone that is holding, instead of a pen, some kind of an electric resistance that's very hot, and you're going to generate burns second degree on the fingers. That's the power of the mind. This goes back to a very ancient taboo, Berit Esh. This is the Kabbalistic code. That's the first word of the book, not Beret Ish, not at the beginning, but alliance with fire, Berit Esh in Hebrew. The alliance with fire. Isn't it, in terms of paleontology, the moment in which human became human? But isn't it also the moment where they start to sin, to separate from other animals, to conquer new territories, to destroy unnecessary, to cook? And I'm not so much for cooking food. As you know that, I try to respect and abide to natural laws, nothing else. When you're exposed to fire, it creates an horrible pain. Nothing, but very superficial. Even when you expose 5 minutes to flame, when you think about it, assuming you didn't inhale, of course, the heat and your brain wasn't damaged, it's just like 5 millimeters of skin that has been barbecued. But all your organs are fine, everything is fine. Just the pain is unbearable. And then your brain gives a signal of self-destruction. And then you start to generate edemas and everything. That's your body, that's the immune internal physiological reaction that kills after burns. My work is very simple. I bypass those. And I do nothing else. It doesn't cost me a thing. I couldn't do. That's why I don't even have to charge. Okay, that's public. You can send me any fireman you want, any burn. I could also teach people in half an hour groups all over the planet, some kind of emergency team in case there will be a nuclear blast, in case there will be something really bad happening. I can teach firemen, but also volunteers, people how to heal burns, because they could do it on a wider scale. They can be everywhere in every city where it happens. And this is also the most simple thing to be tested scientifically. Give me cells, we burn them, and we see the difference between the batch haven't been taken care of and the one I have. And people will do exactly the same. The trick is there is no spoon. There is no fire. No, nothing is really real. But fire is an illusion. The Druids, the real ones, had a special concept for fire, and that was not part of the element, but it was an usurper of element. Looks very much like it's alive, air, ground, and fire. No, fire is an illusion. Like time, like many things. But this one is so easy to unveil, to expose as an illusion through experiment. So that's why I have such rate of results. Amazing. And I guarantee someone who has been burned 3rd degree, barbecued, they're going to give him mega doses of morphine and let him die in an hospital. I guarantee that person can play tennis basically without scarification 3 weeks later. If I can take, or any one of my students will take care of the person. Fire.
There was an element of time that was required for this because of this immune response. Could you explain that?
Yes, when your mind has given to your body this horrible order of self-destruction, when the destructions have occurred on a extent which is beyond the point of recovery, well, there is nothing you can do, which means optimally, I can guarantee the 100% rate of success and without scarification within minutes of the exposure to fire. After an hour, I could, or they could, my students, have a slight rate of unsuccesses. After a day, this is too late. Okay, so rush when you burn yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rush. It's just you don't want this unreality to become real.
Yes.
When it has become too real, it's like the Matrix all over. You know, you are dead even in your dream. Can you live without your mind? No. Your mind, even in an unreal fashion, has decided that that was the reality, and you have to die. You die, even though it wasn't real.
So would you say then, let's now take this principle with fire. It's very clear that the brain says this is horrible, it's too painful, I'm dying.
Yes.
And so
Oh, it goes back to old taboo. It's also infringing an ancient taboo about fire. It goes back to, that's why it creates such a very rapid detrimental response within the body. It's not only the pain. There are many philosophical, spiritual, and historical aspects that will take us for hours. So let's just keep it all together.